Hello, we are back. Hi, world, it's me, Will, and we are back on twitch.tv/Scrabble. Let me see if I have everything up and running here. Looks good for me now. Not sure if anybody is hanging out, waiting to play, but the big news today is that our site here, playscrabble.com, is now live worldwide. So for anybody that's been waiting patiently, I keep saying, just wait, just wait. It's going to be live in the rest of the world. That day has come. So if you're watching along from the UK or from, I think there were some people from other parts of Europe, Southeast Asia, wherever you are from, Australia, hopefully now is the time you can challenge me to a game. Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Salem. Nice to see you both. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys are having a good day. Yes, greetings from Barcelona. Indeed, I've become increasingly familiar with the time zones of Barcelona. Lots of my coworkers from there. Hey Lola, how are you? Hey Transman9216. Nice to see everybody. So yeah, I guess while we wait for some more people to trickle in, let's see if I hop into the queue. Maybe I can match up with somebody that's waiting for a game. Otherwise, I can play a bot. Alternatively, if anybody out there wants to hop into the queue now, this will be a great way to get a game with me without having to challenge me. So, yes. So let's see what's new. What's new in the life of Will? It's been a good week. Excited for Frontier College Scrabble for Literacy event coming to this Twitch channel next. Oh, here comes a game. There we go. Oh, it's Mitch. This is, I think, a familiar face. Hey, Scrabbub, nice to see you. All's good with me. So yeah, just prepping for that Frontier College event. At some point in the next few days, there will be another cool announcement for something coming to Twitch. Can't say too much yet. It hasn't all been finalized, but lots more cool stuff coming to Twitch in the near future after Frontier. So it should be a good week of Twitch that week. Uh-oh. Let's see. What happened here? Oh, never mind. I thought we were going to have an issue. Transman says, I don't know if I can play games on websites. Yeah, there is an issue where if you have your app open, we don't currently support having both web and your phone open. But if you are from a location that is outside of North America, hopefully you should be able to access the site now. So it's exciting. I'm excited. It's been a lot of work, a lot of people working hard to get to this milestone. So it's pretty cool. It's a good day for Play Scrabble. Hey, Axer Typo, thank you very much for those very kind words. Yeah, what do I do with this? So we're into a pretty dire set of letters here. What is that emote, Dustin? Oh my gosh. Very nice. Oh, HC Justin. I know him. He's awesome. I love that streamer. So I guess this is probably... Oh, right. I can't play this. Well, I guess I can play it here, can't I? Okay, so 27 points. Leaving IIO. This has to be worth it, I think. Doesn't get my motor running, but it's probably better than exchanging. So let's just hope for some consonants. All right. Oh, DefineBot. Yes, DefineBot is coming. Stand by. Just a moment. We will make sure that it's up on the Scrabble channel. Okay, we changed the config. Hopefully it works a little bit better than Axer Typo's poor bot, which seems to have taken on some some old age or something in recent days. No offense. All right, here we go. Now, can I draw on the screen? Yes, I can. Perfect. So we got all of our tools. I think the DefineBot is working. Let's test now. Fish for Bauhinia. And what is Bauhinia? Let's try to. Yep, there we go. Okay, so the bot is working now. Interesting question from ScrapBub. Do you think it's ever appropriate to exchange all 7 tiles? So the answer to that question is absolutely yes. There are instances where exchanging all 7 tiles is correct. It can happen in a number of different ways. I think the first instance of exchanging all 7 tiles potentially being correct is if you just happen not to have one of those letters that represents a really good starting point to a new rack, right? So for me, what do I think of as a letter that's a good starting point? I think of an E. I think of an S. I think of a blank. Obviously, it would be very surprising to exchange the blank tile. So when you have one of those good tiles, it obviously makes sense to keep it on an exchange. If you don't have those tiles, it could be fine to throw everything back in the hopes that you get more of those tiles that are good to start your rack with. So if I have a rack of, TT, VV, WWP or something like that, I might keep a T, but a T is not so powerful that I wouldn't consider exchanging all 7. The other time when it's really good to exchange all 7 is in a situation where you are late in the game. Your rack isn't particularly good. It may have tiles like an N or a T or an R that are good for bingoing, but maybe both blanks are unseen late in the game. Maybe all the S's are unseen late in the game. And in those situations, you need to exchange as many tiles as you can in order to pull one of those really strong tiles. So that's definitely, Josh says 27 and IOO every turn. IIO, I should say. Yeah, so he's referring to presumably, it would have to be on this side maybe. Does this score as much as? Yeah, okay. So that's what Extra Typo's talking about. It seems like, again, it's better than exchanging. 27 points is a lot. I just scored 27 points on the previous turn. That's not a terrible average. It's a little bit lower than I would want, but as long as I draw something a little better, I can hopefully turn this rack into another 20 plus points next turn, and we'll be off to the races. Okay, so we drew a blank. Blanks are always good. I'm never going to turn a blank down. But in this situation, when I'm almost positive that I'm not going to bingo on my next turn, it actually kind of hampers me because I can't use it. It's too valuable, but I can't, I only have 6 other letters to work with, and they're not particularly good. Maximizing your odds of getting really good tiles. Yes, that's the point of the tile bag, right? So when you're looking at the tile bag, and Extra Typo makes a great point that we should get into as well as the final, very rare but really powerful reason that you would exchange 7. But when you're looking at the tile bag, right, this isn't just something that exists in a vacuum. You should be thinking about the tile bag as kind of a living entity. And what that entity measures. Oh, I forgot to change my you can't see that blue. Sorry. I forgot to change that. But thank you very much for the follow to John Harvey Kellogg. So you should be thinking about the unseen tiles as kind of a measure of how good is a potential pull from the bag going to be for me, right? So looking at these letters, it's very difficult to determine that. There's so much information coming at you. Thank you to FCO Rod for the follow as well. It's so much information that it's difficult to process it all. But later in the game, when there are fewer letters in this area, you can get a much better idea of how likely is a pick of a tile or 2 tiles or 3 or however many, how likely is that to benefit me? How likely is it to result in me drawing really good tiles? And if the answer to that question is extremely likely, exchanging 7 may be a great choice. But to follow up on what Actor Typo is saying, if there are exactly 7 tiles in the bag, you can still exchange, right? By rule, that is the latest point at which you're still permitted to exchange. You can exchange with 7 or more tiles in the bag. Once there are fewer than 7, no longer an option for you to exchange. So when there are exactly 7, there's a really cool, hopefully they fix that. Is that you can still exchange if there's less than 7? we have to bug test that. I know that was an issue, but hopefully it's been fixed. If not, that's a high priority bug. But if there are exactly 7 tiles in the bag and you exchange 7, if you have a really bad rack, you now, for at least one turn, you can know exactly what your opponent has, right? It's cool. Think about it, right? You have 7 tiles. There are 7 tiles in the bag. Your opponent has 7 tiles. So if you exchange 7, you pull the 7 tiles out of the bag. You know exactly which tiles you just exchanged, and therefore you know which of the leftover tiles are necessarily on your opponent's rack as well. So it's a cool strategy that has some usefulness at times. Now I can score 37. I can. I actually don't see how I can do that. Yeah. Oh, Mitch is getting scared. Yeah, he doesn't have to be scared. I can keep the same leave. So I have to. He says burn. Okay, my brain didn't even think about this. Yeah, so I can burn the blank, which I don't think I want to do. But my dim-witted brain finally understands. Okay. This is actually a really tricky move. I don't see, this scores decently and keeps a leave that's going to bingo, but it also creates an absolutely terrifying overlap that I really don't like looking at at all. Maybe, yeah, I'm not 100% sure what makes me feel good here. Do I have to do this? Oh my God, this is just really not good looking. All right, yeah, maybe exchange 7 is what I'm supposed to do. Is there nowhere that I can play this word for even a low score? I don't have an E, so I can't fit it under there. Ugh. Any kind of extension to OM, that would be really nice. I don't think I have anything. All right, why not? Let's go for it. Let's see what we get. Okay, so the odds of this spot here staying open is next to none. So the things that can happen that are bad is any kind of play with an A. Mitch is going to hammer this spot super hard. Also an S fits there. Also a W fits there. So there are many, many plays that hit me super hard there. But at least I drew something decent. I don't even see where I'm going to play it, actually. I have a bingo of Carius here. So, yeah, Josh, I'm not sure I would play that under too many circumstances. I'm playing it here because I don't want to think any harder, and I know it's a move that has really easy plays afterwards if Mitch doesn't play there. So probably would try to come up with something else or just exchange. I don't know. If you saw a play worth putting on the board, I'm happy to hear it. But it's I don't know. Who knows? It's an interesting one to look at. Um, but here I'm just sitting and now we have this situation here. Oh wait, can you see him? I can't see. If you can. He's resumed his place right on my mouse pad. Unfortunately, this is the new place that he loves to sit, which is the most obstructive possible position. UH and Hom. Yeah, that looks fine. But look at that, Josh. See, when he doesn't have an A or an S or a W, it works out decently well for me. So I can hit all the way down here. Pretty high scoring bingo for me. So it works out for me. I'm not gonna say that playing high there is necessarily a great idea. It's very high risk, but if a play like this has any upside at all, it's that if your opponent does not have the hooks for this spot right here, so the hooks for HA in that spot would have been, again, A, S, or W, and then obviously we're not playing in the Collins lexicon, so C might be another. Ooh, nice play, Krenels. It works out great when your opponent doesn't have those things. So, of course, one of the problems with my play was that I also didn't have any of those hooks. I just had an S. So I had to get lucky and draw AC on that in order to be able to capitalize on that. So there were a lot of problems with that play. This play I don't think is very controversial. I think with the S in the triple lane, I'm supposed to just do this and save my Z for later. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be able to do with it. Do I have a Z play here that goes down? No, I don't believe I do. So we'll just play cats. What do we think of that, buddy? He likes it. The cats likes it. Oof. Okay. Not great, but we'll figure something out here. Hey, Austinho. I'm not sure how I say that, actually. I think it would be Austinho. Hey, Austin, nice to see you. Austin says that's why you're not 2100. I think the reason that Josh isn't 2100 is pure and simple word knowledge. That's it. So once he gets there, he will be. So whatever, I trust Josh to have really good instincts on a lot of things. And if he thinks he wouldn't have done that play, I'm going to think about that and say, maybe that's something I need to reconsider. But that's what makes Scrabble so cool, is that there are lots of different approaches that within reason will work pretty well. So what am I supposed to do here? I have a Y here. I don't think given all these consonants, I don't think I have a great way of, I don't think Betty is a word as in Betty Bye. I think I could choose Teddy, I suppose. 22 leaves BZ. These are uninspiring plays, to be sure. At least I'm ahead in the game. I need to not be spending forever. Oh, maybe I should play Timed. Does this help me anymore? 20. I'm not sure I don't know which of these plays sets me up any better for the future. I certainly am going to need to pull some kind of vowel. It would be great to keep the Y for this spot where even just any reasonable, well, I guess it actually has to be an A or an O or an E or stuff that I can play here. So it's not, I don't know. It's not that powerful. Okay, let's move on. I think I'm going to play, I think Teddy is probably a little better than Timed just because I don't want to put a T here that's then going to be really easy to become a bingo lane. So I would rather put a Y out into space like this. And let's move on, I guess. Fish for Byzantine. Oh my God. Yeah, I saw that if I kept that Y somehow, or if I had an open A to play through on the previous turn, I would have had Byzant. So that would have been super cool. Now, look at this. Look at this insanity here. J, Z, some decent combinations of tiles here. I do need to be cognizant that I'm taking forever on my turn, so I'm going to have to play quicker. I have a Z spot right here. Something like Biz is probably okay. Just to continue to keep things nice and closed. Too bad gallbladder doesn't fit. Yes, indeed. Okay, Mirex to open things up. That's a pretty good way to open up. Do I have a way to close down? I wish I had an E for BizJet. I don't. It might just be worth doing something like this just to really restrict access to this line that was just opened. It leaves terribly. I mean, this is not, the J in this leave is going to make it kind of troubled no matter what I do. So I guess I would probably prefer to have at least some defensive benefit by playing this here. I don't know. Well, we'll try this and see what happens. Bajizant sounds like a Snoop Dogg word. Yes, Snoop, who performed so admirably at the Super Bowl halftime show. Oh my God. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God. I just have to, end the stream. I feel like I have to end stream and when I get hit by that. That's an incredible play by Mitch. Beautiful play. I'm trailing now, but not by so much. I can definitely play jives or something here and still score quite well. Oh, Jivest, I think, might be valid. Yeah, this is worth playing just because I need to use more stuff. Yeah, I mean, not to joke about self-harm, but, pretty much have to commit seppuku after that one. So let's see. That's a beautiful play by Mitch. And Mitch should be streaming, not me, clearly, as Austin says. So, wow, what a start to the stream of an amazing play. We'll have to give Mitch his props when he pops in here. Has anyone played that word other than Mitch? We're going to have the ability to see that, I think. Have persistent tracking of individual words. To answer those questions. I don't think we have that yet. Okay, so it's still close. I've just been hit with a pretty amazing play, and I don't have very much time. So we got to move here. 16 tiles in the bag, 9 vowels, 14 consonants. I'm not up by very much at all. I am somewhat tempted to do something like Boon or Goon here. It scores decently well. It's 23. I don't love that it creates a pretty easy bingo lane underneath, though. So maybe I'm wanting to do something like Bongo instead for fewer. I don't have a ton of time to think this through. Just have to kind of go with instinct here. I don't have any hooks in this spot. There's another Y for Galley that could prove to be really powerful here. I could play Biogeny. It's only 17. I could play Bingo. That's kind of fun. And try to, what'd I just do? I opened up some console or other. Okay, I closed it again. 19. Let's just play Bongo, I guess, and hope for the best. Oof. Okay, that's a little scary. It shouldn't be that easy to play to the triple above a B here. Mitch will have to have the last A. So it's not a lock that he will have a good play up there. It's kind of difficult, actually. So I'm going to need to make my next few plays like immediately. And if you're wondering like why am I clicking and dragging, again, it's because the cat is like right here. I could try to. We'll see if. Do you want to come sit on this? Uh-oh. Okay, twin. All right, that's perfect because BI allows me to play the OB extension, which is exactly what I need here. Oh, wow. And I drew Gustier and Gutsier here. Not sure if those are going to play anywhere, but if Mitch were to open anything, I would then be able to pounce. Ooh, nice play in response. Oh, boy. I don't have very long to come up with a solid play here. Let's see. What can I come up with? I only have 20 seconds, and if I can't come up with something pretty good, it's gonna be bad news for me. Not here. Only 4 seconds left. Oh, man. I'm having a brain freeze situation at a bad time because he has outs in a couple different spots. So now taking the 10 points, I think I'm probably going to lose. Let's see if I can come up with something here. Yeah, this is bad. Surely there's some, maybe just this would have won. It blocks Leafs. False. Where will he go out after this? Where will I go out after this? Nowhere. This is not, I don't know. This is probably not going to work for me, but let's just try. Not go overtime again. And play something. Oh, he can play safely. Yeah, safely should win for him. I didn't see that till it was too late. So certainly with the time penalty, I'm going to lose. Nicely done. Oh, wait. Would I have... Wow, it says I would have... Yeah, I would have lost anyway. So nicely done, Mitch. Definitely well-deserved win there with Seppuku going down. Pretty impressive stuff. So yeah, not sure where towards the end I went wrong. Probably had some better sequence than what I had, but no time to calculate. Chow scored more under. CIA. Oh, it sure did. Yeah. Okay, that's all right. No real time to analyze. Okay. Already Scrabbub is in the queue, so let's go ahead and start up the next game. I think last stream, I was like completely charmed with the tiles that I drew, so it's fine. Oh, okay, the cat hopped up. That's huge. That's going to be huge for my ability to input plays as the cat is now on his heating pad. So that's going to help me a little. So yeah, let's see. We'll go back to this screen. Yeah, same to you. Good. Yeah, nice game to start to get the gears churning in the old noggin for me. But you got to give it up to Seppuku. Hopefully Mitch stops by in the chat to get some props for that excellent game. So yeah, not 100% sure if anybody in the chat is from places outside of North America, but if so, you can now go to this website and play, which is, we're looking forward to playing all of our friends from around the world. Not sure what the audience is from the rest of the world for playing in the English dictionary. I think it will be more of a boon to those that are interested in playing with the UK dictionary. But either way, it can only help. This seems to be a pretty clear choice, as it looks like Scrabbub has swapped tiles. So unless I'm missing something, we're going to play this. Hey, Mitch. Nice game. Great performance and amazing find of Seppuku. Everybody should congratulate Mitch on a great victory in that game. Um, so very, very nicely done. That was fun. As Dustin. Dustin, yeah. Oh, and look at that. Thank you very much, Salem Mythendil, for the gifted sub to Mitch, who is he has definitely earned it there. Svarages against PK God. Okay. So that's another pretty epic word. Let's see what happens if we define this. Yeah. So a couple of spellings of a Sanskrit word that are, yeah. So Mitch saying he played the W variation of that word. That's pretty impressive. So Mitch busting out some pretty cool finds. So this is a 25-minute game. That's what I think Scrabbub prefers, that time control. He was very gracious last week. We played a 15-minute game that was a little out of his wheelhouse. So this will give me a little time to talk with you guys and chat a little. Yeah, the J at the end, absolutely. So that's, I mean, obviously it's a 6-letter word. So it's going to be rare to have that word come up. But as Jeremy suggests, the shorter words where letters appear in a very idiosyncratic position are always really, really important to know, because there are often situations where you can play one of many words with the J in the front, right? But maybe the only word that fits is a word with the J at the end, and there's very few words like that. So that's why Raj and Taj and Haj are so important. Okay, so Glow is the play for Scrabbub. Definitely thinking that I'm going to play something like Chow again. I wonder if there's, like last game, is there going to be a better place for me to play this? I don't think so. Let me just quickly imagine... Do I have like this, this isn't a word, something like this. Pretty sure this has to be right. So we'll play this and move on. And I drew nicely. All right, Fitz, come here. Come sit. I don't like expelling the cats from my streaming room during streams, but there are definitely times when he can be a nuisance. Come here, buddy. Come sit. We need you to come fall asleep. On my lap. Yeah, Salem, yes. I actually thought about that briefly. Yeah, Shenya, former coworker of mine, who we worked together on a bunch of different things. And yes, Shenya being a valid word in Scrabble. Hope she's doing, I'm sure she's doing very well in her new environment. I believe at EA, so not to dox her, but yeah, very valuable word. It's nice when your name is good in Scrabble and is a really helpful word. So that's something that Axer Typo can claim. His name Josh, very helpful word. You see that all the time. My name Will, pretty helpful. You have a W and 2 I's. You're going to see Will be played a fair amount. Yeah. And that's why I'm very proud to introduce my son, Chi Cat. His name is QIQAT, and he is the most useful Scrabble child. I wish he would come sit on my lap. Come here. So I have definite bingo possibilities here. I have Santur, which is not your everyday word, and I also have Courants from the Sea of Chow. So once I have access to my mouse or keyboard, I will be playing one of those moves. Come here. Don't growl at me. He's getting upset. So I just need to access my mouse here. Okay, there we go. We got the mouse. Um, Chavi says my name is not valid, but if it was, that would be a very, very useful word in this game for sure. So, all right, let's see here. If we play Courant, it's 70. If we play Santour with the S hook, it's 72. But then again, it makes another really scary S hook going down across. Not only that, all of these letters could allow Scrab to bingo through them. So I definitely feel like even if I'm sacrificing a point or two, to play Courant instead, I think this makes the most sense just because, well, there is a negative of this too, which is that any high scoring set of tiles is going to hit this S super hard to the triple. So any play, well, what even fits there? The Y, W, V is going to be pretty tough to fit in that spot. H, F, yeah, there's still a lot of heavy hitting things that play there. But I think I'm still going to play this. Let's just see. Let's see what happens. So this is definitely like on this board now after my bingo, this is the spot that's going to get hit a huge percentage of the time. It's the only triple that's open. It's just begging to be hit. And look at that. I get lucky in a sense. It's never quote unquote lucky for your opponent to have a bingo there, but it's going to allow, well, actually, now there's two scary spots here. Okay, hold on. So what do we do now? This is interesting because now we're each going to get our pick of two spots that look kind of similarly scary here. So this spot on top of the E is going to allow a high scoring consonant to score really well to the triple. Same goes for this spot too. So oddly, if I could find a play that did not use either of them, I would consider it here because then I get one of the two on my next turn after Scrab takes one. I don't know if I have such a play. I think I almost certainly have to play something like this here. I think this is just too many points and too clear. But let me just look a little more carefully and see if I can come up with something. Yeah, I don't know. That feels like it's very likely to be the right play here, unless there's something with the J that I'm missing. What would I play here if I had any choice? Like, yeah, I mean, nothing makes sense. So we'll just go ahead and play here and hope that Scrab doesn't have anything particularly damaging there. I drew a little weirdly. He is very, very likely to play there, but if he doesn't, I'm going to do a little hit of Opium. That's going to score a lot of points in that spot. Otherwise, do I have anything here? I don't know. Yeah, the difference between the difference between this spot and any other spot that's available on the board is enormous. Sure, Transman, you can send me a chat. So, are you saying that you would challenge me to a 45-minute game? If I could play multiple games at once, I would say that's totally fine. We can do that. As of right now, that's not possible. So, yeah, at some point, I would be happy to play 45-minute games when I can juggle them with like one or two other games that I'm playing at once. So just something to consider. Yeah, for sure. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the interest. I mean, you can always try, but it is, yeah, for a 2-hour stream, it is on the long side. It would be good if I had some other thing to cut to while we were playing. But yeah, don't do drugs. That's right. Yes, this is a family-friendly stream for sure. I am not advocating for the use of opium. Only in a Scrabble game should you be using opium. as well as all other illegal drugs. Um, I know fentanyl is good in this game, and other stuff is valid in Scrabble, but be careful, folks. Yeah, copium is a Twitch phenomenon. Only on Twitch can you see hook opium. We all, any of the Twitch heads out there are probably aware of that already. Ooh, okay. Wow, so painful for Scrabbub. Okay, so the reason that he plays equal, obviously, is that he has a Q that he can't use anywhere else productively. That's a great play, actually, to get rid of the Q without a U in hand and scoring quite well. But for me, that's like an opium hit from the gods, because this spot staying open is really, really helpful to me. Let me just quickly, do I not have, I have impious to this S, but I don't think I can fit an L in there for any reason. So we're going to go ahead and play opium and see what we get. Ooh. So I drew this, which would play through an A. If an A were to become available, I would have non-valid. I think that is valid, ironically. Yeah, drugs are bad, okay. Is that a South Park guy? Is that Mr. Garrison? That's the only character I know that says okay, other than Bill Lumbergh. Lumbergh from Office Space is another guy who says, Mr. Mackey, right. Bill Lumbergh also has a very good MK. Now, Peter, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday, okay? All right, Peter. Thanks a lot. Great movie. Definite Mike Judge fan here. In fact, I'm just now getting into Silicon Valley, like several years late. I didn't even realize that was a Mike Judge show. That's how out of the loop I am. But I've been watching a little bit of that show, and it's hysterically funny. It's like one of the funnier shows I've ever seen. It consistently makes me laugh so hard. And that's the Mike Judge factor. I also really like Idiocracy. Idiocracy is one of my favorite things. I often quote to my wife, who has never seen Idiocracy, Brondo. That's what, electrolytes. That's what plants crave. In the movie Idiocracy, everybody has it's actually incredible that Idiocracy came out in like the mid 2000s, because things have kind of gotten worse. But yeah, it has electrolytes, and what are electrolytes? Well, they're what plants crave. And in this movie, the marketing of this drink called Brondo has become so persuasive that they convinced everyone that plants want basically Gatorade, and all the crops have died because the plants don't want Gatorade. It's just been marketed to them. So couldn't watch Silicon Valley, too close to home. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's totally understand. Ooh, okay. So there's an A, but it's not in the right spot, unfortunately for me. I'm not going to be able to play non-valid through this A, which I think is, as I said before, a valid word. And I don't really have a wonderful way to overlap this. The problem is that I only have one vowel that fits here and no vowels that fit with the L. So if I'm going to play an overlap, it's not going to go very far. So what to do then? I could just play something like, let's see. I want to use one of my two N's. I want to use the V. I probably want to use the O. So some combination of this. This is very unappealing. Vandal. All right, let's see. Do I have a void word? Not, I mean, better than ovoid. I need something much better than that. Oh, what about here? Do I have some play? Oh, something using this would be nice. I don't think there is anything though. Something like this in that spot would be great. I don't think there is such a play. Okay. Maybe I have to do something like this. Oh, this has to be good. If I could type. This seems pretty good. The reason that I would do this is just to deny access to the triple, because LI takes no hooks. Also, Nodi takes no hooks. The only drawback of this play is that it keeps the V, which I would prefer not to use. It scores pretty well. It does create a pretty big spot to overlap here, though, so I don't love that. Yeah, all right. It's probably the best thing I can find here, so let's just go ahead and play this. Austin points out the Xenial hook. Yeah. Levin looks pretty good. So it would have been with an I. It would have scored slightly less. Would have gotten off it would have been helpful to get the V off. It would have given up access to this triple instead, as opposed to just this scoring spot. Yeah, they're probably close. I didn't see it, so I'm more concerned that I didn't see this play. I don't think Nodi is that much worse. It might be a little worse. Rate my play B13 Anvil. Anvil has some advantages. It has the advantage of not really opening anything scary to Scrabbub, and it gets one of the two ends off in a nice manner. But it probably scores a lot less, right? Like Anvil in this spot would score 16, whereas Nodi scored 25. So it's a 9-point improvement. That's relatively significant. All right, let's see here. This is decent to get as much of this junk out of the rack as possible. Do I have anything here? Nah. Felonize. This isn't a word. I'm just look up. Now I have to start up further. Something like that. I'm looking for something that's more word-like. Austin is rated the same in Collins as Will's rated. Yeah, well, I haven't played NWL in a while, and I definitely also feel like my ratings have plenty of fluctuation involved. I'm sure that I'm destined to experience some fluctuation. In fact, that may occur in a week and a half from now when I'm playing in Canada. I could easily see myself being a little rusty and dropping some rating. Either way, I definitely think of Austin as like an equal or my superior, so not worried about that. But let's see if I can find a play that I like better than Unlevel. For some reason, I'm not finding one. Something here. I just don't have the letters to overlap here very successfully. So it may be that I have to do something like this, which, given the positioning of the V here, it's actually not that easy to hit a huge scoring play to the triple. It's like, I'm not worried about that. In fact, maybe would be slightly more worried about a play with an S here, but again, an S in second position. The S prefers to be the last letter and the first letter of words. It's kind of hard to use the S as the second letter. So, yeah, we can... I keep forgetting about this, too. I could just play something like Veil. That looks pretty good. But, I think I'm going to go with Unlevel. I think it's decent. Oh, this is the last A. So if you look at the tile bag, I literally cannot duplicate this A. That makes me feel pretty good. So the odds of me drawing an E to pair with this A along with some consonants are quite good. Actually, the bag is very consonant heavy at this point too. 28 consonants to 12 vowels, so it's getting more and more consonant heavy. So keeping a leave of just one vowel kind of feels nice to me as well. So let's see what happens. Okay. Pretty good. Pegboard. If I had an open E or O somewhere, that's probably all. I'm going to guess that's very unlikely to be other playable bingos here. So this is kind of good. The board is quite closed. It's going to be very difficult for ScrabBub to play a bingo on this board. Not impossible, but this M is definitely the best shot at it right here. So if I'm able to play something blocking that, I'm not sure how I would, but if I could, how would I do this? BOI isn't a word here. I pretty much think I only have this. It doesn't reach the M. Yeah, we'll see. I don't anticipate getting a very good letter to play through here, but if I get an E or an O, pegboard would be... Wait, is that good in this dictionary? There are some boards that aren't. I think pegboard is. I think pegboard is valid. All right, there's a nice play of fig underlapping. So ScrabBub is really close in score. So I have to be aware of that. Do I have anything here worth? Is there some massive word ending in oid? Like Pergaboid. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, I mean, I still feel pretty good about this position because I've got the blank. ScrabBub is going to have to bingo from the M to really catch me here as long as I keep scoring decently. That's all I pretty much need here. So, what would I play through here? Begad. Is that worth playing? PR blank. This is kind of a little maybe, wait, D? Yeah, I just don't have enough overlapping tiles that fit in that spot. I think for me, it's either going to be playing through this E of unlevel or playing an overlapping play here of something like pad. 23 points for this. BRG blank really needs to get bailed out by vowels. There are E's and I's that I can draw. I don't know. It's pretty close. I'll go ahead and play this. Ooh. Don't think there's anything super appealing here. This is just like taunting me though. Like this is such a powerful scoring area, but none of it seems to work. Brap, yeah. I thought about Brap with Ba playing in that spot, but it's not. Of course, it is a Collins only word. Cat update. He is completely comfortable sitting on my mouse pad here. Absolutely no way. I am sitting hunched down, hoping that he will want to come onto my lap, but he doesn't want that. Yeah, Fitz, do you want to try? I have a blanket for you. It would be really nice. I promise. Come on. Come here. Yeah, he's just like, he absolutely has no interest in sitting on my lap. So I guess what that means is I can sit upright at a normal height. and just try to work around him. So you can see I was sitting very low, low to the ground. This is what we do to accommodate this cat. Could I close the door to my office and stream in peace without the cat here? I could, I guess. I could also, I could do a lot of things that I don't do. So I don't know. I'm definitely there is no bad cop when it comes to the cat parents of this household. Allison and I are we're two good cops, and that's very bad for respecting boundaries. For this cat to respect boundaries of any type would probably require at least one of the two of us to be a bad cop, which that hasn't happened. So anyway, he's here. We're playing Scrabble. Hopefully some folks, I know there have been a handful of people that have been watching over the last few weeks that have been interested to play but haven't been able to because it's been geo-blocked in everywhere outside of North America. So hopefully some of those people stop by because it's very good news. We're live worldwide now. So that can only help. It's going to make the player pools bigger. It's going to make the matchmaking faster. Lots of nice things that can happen now. As a result of that, a lot of hard work that it took to get to that point. So not to be too, self-congratulatory. I had very little to do with that process, but others worked super hard. So, all right, what am I going to do here? It certainly depends in large part on what Scrabbub chooses to do. This is a tricky situation. It's interesting to see that LI is blocking both parts of the board here. So we have LI in two different spots that are preventing access to a triple. So it's not very easy scoring opportunities here. If I had to say what the best scoring opportunity was on this board, it would absolutely be this spot, but there's only one O lurking in the unseen tiles, and the O is going to be really important to have to fit a big overlapping play in this spot. You could definitely still play here with a D. That would still work. ADD is going to fit here and allow some level of overlapping in this spot, but the O makes it so much better for stuff like, imagine something like this. KO. Let's see. Well, if I drew KO, I would play Cobb or something for an enormous score. Okay. Play is in. It's Dish. So immediately I want to play Dishy. Should I play Dishy and Gray? Is it worth adding my S here? I don't think so. I think I would rather keep my S. Keeping S blank just seems like it's really strong. The only issue here is that Dish actually accomplishes something nice for me on this board, which is it blocks this M. So now I'm up by 30. The M is blocked. Dish, obviously not pluralizing with an S. It just takes a Y hook, which I have. There is another Y, but it's much easier to end a bingo in an S than a Y. So this board is just like locked down in a way that makes me pretty happy. So I guess what I should be concerned about is if I play something like Bay or something in this vein, whether it's Gray or Gay or something like that, I am making a much better spot than existed before. So maybe I want to play Gray here because the G is so much more difficult to underlap. I guess there would still be the possibility of playing IER. So maybe, is it possible that just playing this is the safest? Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, thank you very much for those congratulations. And sounds good, Transman. We'll be here when you get back. I think there's some possibility that this is the smartest play because, again, adding this R, if you look at the pool, there is a pretty good chance of IER being the best way that Scrab can bingo, and that goes down after gray, whereas it does not go down after just GEY. Alternatively, if I want to just ignore that altogether and just play this and keep my vowel, I could do that. Do I have any other? I don't have that much else that looks pretty good. I suppose I could play up here too. That's not very many points. I would definitely play here for the extra points here. This is tricky. I'm going to go ahead and play this just because I think this is still going to be very, very difficult to underlap. Not impossible. And it scores enough. Oh, man. I'm having second thoughts now. This is just this board after this is just so poor. There's just never bingoing happening after this ever. And that's really what I need to be worried about. I guess I should be worried about a KO play overtaking me if I score too few points. So, but even then, it's not that easy to hit a KO play that goes all the way down. This is a real tricky one. I do have the blank too, so I can kind of be aggressive. Maybe I'm the one that draws an IER word. Okay, let's just do this. See what happens. That was kind of tricky. I don't know what did you guys think in the chat about that? That was not a clear situation to me. Did you guys favor a play like GEY? Should I have played my R just to get another consonant off my rack? Should I have played BY right here? Should I have played somewhere else? Anybody have any strong feelings? Because I'm not convinced that I understand what's the best approach on that play. Don't be scared just because I'm the Scrabble expert. I don't. This is not my forte. I'm always eager to listen to other people's opinions, and try to learn. Because that's the beauty of Scrabble. I wish that I could cast myself as the authority that can immediately process every position like that perfectly. But in point of fact, I would not consider myself to be, infallible there by any means. Buy would fish for regress, but I don't think it would fit. Yeah, I mean that's a big thing that comes up all the time when you have really good tiles for bingoing. It's not obvious sometimes where those bingos are going to fit. So dim is just much easier to overlap. That's just timing, right? So GEY, gay, not that easy to underlap. Oh, Dabster, would that a bit fit for more? Yeah, probably, or similarly at least. Yeah, Dabster would have been maybe better. I just didn't think of it. I just saw I had a big bingo that put me up. So, yeah, that's gonna be an adjustment certainly. Well, maybe not for the Canadian Scrabble Classic, which is taking place in a week and a half's time. I'm gonna be playing my first over the board Scrabble tournament in over 2 years. I've been very, very risk averse with respect to going out and doing stuff during pandemic time, but I think all of the trends are going the right direction. Numbers of cases, number of people in hospitals and stuff like that. I am in the immunosuppressed group of people, so I think my conservative approach to the pandemic has been justified on that basis. But I think things are looking good, and I'm excited to play over the board Scrabble again. Yeah, oppressed. Yeah, I'm immune oppressed. Yes, over the board and over the boarder. That's absolutely true, Jeremy. Well put. I didn't think about the alliteration or rhyme of it. Um, but yeah, it should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Um, I think there's going to be some rust for sure. How am I even getting there? I think so. There is some possibility that I will do it in two phases and visit my mom, as long as I can COVID test myself and do all of that stuff beforehand. So I could do pit stops in New York and then work my way up for the rest of the drive. That's a nice play by Scrab Bub, by the way. Look at that. Look at all these overlaps. That's a very, very nice play. It does represent throwing in the towel, but what an elegant play that is, making all these overlaps. Um, so like that play a lot. But yeah, it's going to be just driving, Josh. I'm just going to drive. I hope that's um, reasonable. Am I coming by North Jersey? Almost certainly. Yes, I would think. So I'm here in Central Jersey. Um, but yeah, I would think I would almost always have to go by northern parts. All right, what do I do here? I have this would be nice too, but I don't have any other hooks to DOR. Um, so I think probably something like this is going to be fine. I have two outs for NT. I guess I should at least be thinking, oh yeah, I have to block stuff like Yuck. YUK is going to score pretty well with Dork. There might be better stuff even than that, but we'll go ahead and play Choir. Set myself up to Want would be the next play up. Oh, I forgot to look at no, I was looking at this spot momentarily previously, but I might have missed something in there. Kite. Yeah, so Kite scores pretty well there too. Maybe I'm supposed to play maybe COTH and Collins. I don't know what else I have. But yeah, either way, just academic to figure out the correct end game here. And I will be going out with Want next turn, assuming a play like Kite through this T, which would score quite well. So all right. So let's see. What was there were definitely some turns in this game that I thought were Extra Typo, were you here for the gay turn here? This move? I was very unsure of that, and I would have liked your opinion on that. Because there were a lot of options. A lot of options that I could have gone with. Okay, stepped away. Okay, there's Kite with an I. Only the slightest improvement would have been to play a Y instead. Yeah, Jibers Rack. That's it. Exactly. There were a number of different ways I could have gone there that I wasn't sure about. Okay, GG to Scrapbub. Another interesting game. I think one of the big inflection points of this game was after the nice play of thank you. After the nice play of Fairies, I got really lucky to that Scrabub had the cue. The cue had to be played there, and it let me get this huge opium play, my opium den. My idea behind it's not showing in the right spot on screen. Hold on. How do I do this? There. So my idea with that play was to get the extra points that I get by using the Y hook, but also give as few bingos back. So if I play my R instead, I give up IER and IES bingos in this spot, whereas I think it's much tougher to actually fit a bingo underneath GEY was my instinct. That could be wrong. So yeah, it was a lot fewer points to play there. What do I think about? Yeah, Transman, if you want to face off with 25 minutes and see how it treats you, that's totally fine. I would be very happy to play a game. I do think a 45-minute game is a little too long, so 25 would be fine. Lets me talk through the moves, but also hang out with chat a little bit. So if you're up for 25, feel free to send in that game request, and I will be happy to play. So yeah, but it was a tough situation. Not sure what the right move was there. Sir Fink, the promo codes. Yes, so you can see there's sort of a light touch level of ads here on the site. It's not quite as obtrusive as Scrabble Go can be. I myself, even before being a Scoplian, I paid for Scrabble Go ad free, and it's a very, very smooth, nice experience. But understand all the pros and cons of that. So no judgment either way. And look who's back. He had just gone for a sojourn somewhere, and he is probably, unless I'm, we need to you want to sit here? This is nice for you. I made it so it's nice and warm. All right, I'll play a quick blitz game against the computer. Transman, if you're able to, so one thing to note is that there are currently multiple accounts that show Wanderer 15. So you have to be careful when you're sending me a game request that you pick the right one. It's me with this little icon. It has a picture of me. So it's possible that if you sent a game request to Wanderer 15, it may not be the right one. That's something that we're going to be fixing soon with the username improvements. Axer Typo says, I could play Blitz. All right, let's do it. We could play 3-minute Blitz with Josh. We could play, whatever. Oh man, it's going to be hard for me to play Blitz with the cat here. He just only sits here. He just wants to sit right here. And he's so happy sitting here. Yeah, he's happy. Look at this wiggly guy. All right. He said, okay, Josh has English UK. So I'm going to do my best to play Blitz with the cat. How does one change a PFP? I don't even know what PFP stands for, so I don't know. Transman says, I made sure to look closely at the picture. Okay, yeah, that's weird. It's not showing your game request. So maybe if you tell me what your name is, I can send you a game request. All right, look at this. What a weird rack. There are bingos with this rack. Oh, look at that. Yeah, the content master. Look at this. I think that's a word. Is Josh going to challenge this? Is this a word? I'm pretty sure Dealey is a word. I hope it is. But indulge Axer Typo's crazy play here. Oh, he blocks Regainer. I feel like shouldn't I have something to the D? Okay, I don't see it. Let's play Rani. Scores pretty well. Creates a pretty scary spot here. I might have had a bingo there. D Rainer, Dainer, Derain, maybe not. Oh, I didn't even look through some of these other letters. So let's hope I didn't miss a bingo there. It would be cool to play Waxier in this spot. I don't have that capability. I'll probably just play U here, or I mean, this was a bad play. If Josh has an S, it's just gonna be a oh man, it would just have been devastating if he had one. Um, Maybe he does, and he's going for something pretty big. All right, let's just play this. Oh, okay. That will potentially... All right, there you see the massive S play, but I have a bingo. So let's see what we drew. Ooh, very nice. Okay. I gotta look hard through... I bet I have stuff here. Caramels. Oh, boy. Okay. So... Okay, Jeerer. That is a word. Okay, there we go. Got a request that looks like it's from Transman, so we'll play that after. This is probably a good play. I can play for 93 in that spot, or I can play here for 94. This is probably smarter, just because Fa takes both an S and an N, so I think I don't want to let that spot sit any longer than it has to. Okay. Yeah, this is UK. Yeah, this is a UK English game, which I was fine. Ooh, very nice. Okay. Josh is just hammering the big plays. Um, I must have something good. Look at these beautiful scoring letters. Britska. Brosy, Brokey. I don't have a ton of time to figure this out. If I draw an E, there's not that many E's to draw though. I also could draw OA. So if I figure out a way to use, like, if I played this, it scores 32, and I get a lot of chances at getting a big Z play there, but I don't know if that makes sense. I gotta look a little harder. I don't have much more time. I hate using my S in this way, too. All right, let's just go for this. Okay, so I did draw OA, so if that spot remains, I will play Zoea for a lot of points. Was that correct? I don't know. I bet I missed some big Z play, but this is at least a reasonable. This is a reasonable approach to go for the big za spot here. So we'll just see where Josh plays. It's going to be not that easy for him to play in this spot. It's not that great of a spot, but maybe if he has an H, this is like the best spot for him. So I'll need to come up with some other plan. Well, he's taking a little time, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him block this. So I need to figure out, okay, so he does. So, I mean, do I just play Zoa here because it gets more vowels off? Do I play Zoa here? Yeah, I should play Zoa here. Okay. All right. So that score's pretty good. Hey, Dad City. Collins Dictionary should be called World or International. Yep, that would make a lot more sense as a branding choice, I think. Definitely agreeing with that. Okay, I'm about to take a time penalty, unfortunately. Do I have something like... Ugh. All right, I can't spend too long on this, or else I'm just going to go over time. Can I play Bedouin, Unbid, Unbead? All right, I don't have enough time to be thinking this through to this point. Let's pretend I'm going to draw a Q. Uh-oh. Not good. Pain. Okay. Pain indeed. I'm in trouble here. I think I'm going to flag if I don't go much faster. I have ennui, something with id. Yeah, okay. I think I'm about to flag. All right. Probably just need to play a little faster there and could have figured out a pretty easy way to win that. Nicely done, Josh. All right. Let's just go ahead and play this 25-minute game. Lets me think a little bit better. Yeah, too much thinking. Definitely could have done better if I just slapped some stuff down there. So, all right. So I'm thinking that this is Transman playing here. Not 100% sure. That was a 3-minute timer. So yeah, definitely in our early days of this channel on Twitch, I think, hopefully we look back at this channel in like 3 years, 2 years, and we say, wow, it's gone so far since that time and is doing lots of great things over the board, online. It's a lot. There's just an incredible amount that needs to be built in terms of just everything. Everything with respect to Scrabble still needs to be built. But I think we can get there. I'm excited. So, all right, let's see. This is English US. So back to the US dictionary here. I don't think it's worth playing Jowar. I guess it's fine to just play Jaw. That's very, very uninspiring. Oh, Rioja. Rioja is clearly the play. Okay. Oh, my. Okay. Not great. Not great here. I had a nice leave of AES. So, yeah, there is multiplayer on Go. That's true. That was certainly that was a feature that was very routinely requested as like this is something that a lot of players are really eager to get their hands on. And multiplayer's here. You can play 3 and 4 player games. It seems to be pretty popular, so that's nice to see. Is this worth playing for 11 points as opposed to exchanging? Yeah, probably. Maybe. I don't know. It's pretty close. It makes me want to exchange a little bit, but I'll go ahead and play. I don't think the board is super great. Oh, wow. And look at that. I drew Arsenal and a sternal. I just blocked my own a sternal. That's okay. We'll live. Hopefully after the next play, it'll be clearer to me where I should be playing. Yes, the content play. Yeah, it's just something that I learned about Blitz is that I am very much better at Blitz when I am not speaking and just playing and not thinking about an audience in any way, shape, or form. That is something that I learned midway through the Blitz Champs event of last year, and it was like steroids for my Blitz performance. Okay, use. This is an interesting play. We have a certain name for this in Tournament Scrabble for a play like this. The play of use has an effect of creating 2 lanes now, and because of SUPs, they can't both really be effectively blocked at once. We call this a fork. This is like a way that 2 different lanes can be forked open at one time and make it very difficult to close. So for me, what I'm thinking is I have this nice rack. Arsenal is not a bingo that fits, unfortunately, due to If it ended in R, I would be able to play user. If it ended in S, I would play uses. Unfortunately, the R and the S are at the beginning of this word. I need them to be at the end. However, these 6 letters are so powerful that I'm really thinking of just plopping this A down by itself. Almost anything I draw within reason is going to allow me to bingo on the next turn. So let's see what I get. And sure enough, I have slander, landers, snarled, a number of things. So that really powerful leave. I drew the D, which is a good bingo tile. And that's going to... Do I have anything to this T? I don't think so. E. Also don't think so, but it doesn't matter because again, these 2 spots are going to stay open and I'm going to get a bingo down next turn. So yeah. Yeah, we passed 300 followers on here. Not bad. Definitely hoping as we get more and more awareness of this channel's existence, not just from Scrabble-friendly people on Twitch. And there's lots of people, if you look on Twitch at different categories, like there's people streaming Wordle, there's people streaming other word games, there's people streaming Babel Royale, although less people playing than there were a little while ago. Hopefully we can fix that. But I think there's lots of communities, even like the chat, even chess, and even poker and Magic and other places like that. There's definitely crossover that can happen between people that just like strategy gaming in general, right? Like I follow a bunch of channels of all those different games because I like games, and I think there's a lot of people out there like that who all we need to do is create some good content and just introduce people to the idea that here we are, we're doing some cool stuff. And that number is going to increase. Now, definitely, it's definitely something that I'm always thinking about, which is that Twitch has a certain demographic and Scrabble has another demographic, which might not align perfectly. Twitch skews a little bit young. Scrabble definitely has lots of young people playing, but there's also people of all ages certainly playing this might be their first ever reason to log on to Twitch. And we just have to be cognizant of that and be patient and just keep making good content until it becomes a must watch for those people. Okay, so a low scoring play, probably motivated by some duplicated letters. I'm betting that there's another I on the rack there, maybe even another L and R as well. But I think I would play something like re-lands. Does that make sense to do? I don't know, maybe not. The reason that I would even consider doing this is that it's kind of hard to overlap this without an E, but it's too easy to play here. So but then what do I do? Just landers instead? This is a little bit easier to overlap, and it feels like it's similarly easy to play through for a lot of points. So I think, unless I'm missing some really big play, I'm just going to play re-lands and hope to not get hit super hard in response. Okay, so I drew E's and I drew an X. So Apex or something like that looks like it will hit particularly hard. Obviously, this spot is going to be a red alert spot to draw my opponent's attention. So I'm going to have to come up with some other ideas. Some demand for watching Scrabble on Facebook for sure. Absolutely. So in the past, we've done... Oh, what did I just do? Something changed where it threw everything out of whack. Did I just change the... Hold on, let me refresh screen. See if I can figure out what I did here. Okay, it snapped back into place. It might have been, I'm not sure what it was actually. Um, bread is the play for my opponent. Okay, cool. Now, I think XED is not valid here. Yeah, it's not. So I think I'm forced to play Apex. But anyway, to Dad City's point, definitely have seen in the occasions when I've streamed stuff on Facebook to Scrabble Go Facebook page and other pages. It's been a pretty good audience of people. So I think totally agreeing with you that we cannot ignore Facebook by any means. Lots of people there, lots of visibility. We have to make sure we're using Facebook too. All right, let's go ahead and do this. This seems reasonable. And this is a good looking set of tiles, but not perfect. Yeah, I thought about fax. I might have opted for fax just to keep my rack a little more balanced and not hang an A into space. I didn't really think super hard about it, but yeah, that's probably well worth thinking about. So anyway, what's done is done. So we just got to think of what next. I'm thinking maybe like fridge here. 29. Maybe just fig or GIF. A little better. Yeah, that's got to be better. So the reason that I like this better is just because this combination of letters is so powerful for bingoing. It's not particularly powerful on this board, but you never know how the board's going to look after your opponent's next play, and I certainly think keeping a lot of these nice bingo tiles together is going to pay off for me a lot of the time. Also, I just would need a 7-letter word ending in a vowel. Oops, not a good drawing of a line, but any 7-letter word ending in a vowel is going to play on one or the other side of this T. So there is an outside chance of drawing that. So we shall see. So what do people think? How long is the Wordle craze going to continue? Is it just going to continue to pick up steam, or is it eventually going to peter out and just be for word freaks alone? How many are people still going to be doing daily Wordles a year from now or 2 years from now? I don't know. Hard to know. All right, Stain is the play. I'm going to go ahead and play this. This looks decent, but not quite. Lots of bingos through the T that don't have room to play. Some people for sure, says Dad City. Yeah, I think it's, there are certain word games that are persistent, right? Like people play crosswords for like every day of their lives, or every week at least. Maybe they do one crossword or something like that. That's a word game, and it has legs. I don't know if any other word game has come along in the last couple decades that seems like it has that staying power, je ne sais quoi, to be around a long, long time. So it's cool. Jeremy says I did crosswords all the time till I started playing Scrabble Go. Yeah. So do you still, I guess the question is, do you still do them? Because, we only have so many hours in the day. So to the extent that Wordle, people are now doing Wordle every day at the expense of something else. Not that it has to be a competition. But, time is finite. And even while Scrabble is competing against other word games, it's also competing against all forms of like leisure time and other stuff like that. So I happen to think that Scrabble stacks up great against almost any other form of leisure activity, just from a brain training standpoint. You're playing Scrabble, your brain is getting a really good workout, really stresses your memory, gets a lot of that into it. Every game's so different from the rest in terms of the precise words that are played. It's not clear that every game of Scrabble is different from the rest in terms of the concepts that you need to apply in each one. Certain games of Scrabble feel kind of like all the other games of Scrabble, even though the words may all be different. But then other games of Scrabble feel completely different than any that you've ever played. And I love when that happens. I love when you're playing Scrabble and all of a sudden you get a game that's just really different in some fundamental way. I don't know if it feels like, it feels like chess has that actually. Having watched a lot of chess, you would say to yourself, wow, it's all the same pieces every time. How different could it be? But actually, there are still crazy novelties that happen all the time in chess once you get far enough into the game. But Scrabble starts you out right there with the novelty. Oh man. Okay, so Stain. I was already thinking about whether it made sense to play something like this, but now with the Z in that spot, this play looks extremely powerful with all the extra points that I get. So we'll do that. It scores quite well. Have I played Squabble on stream? Not on stream. I have messed around with it. So Squabble is the multiplayer Wordle that was designed by Automated, who actually was I rated him from this channel a couple weeks ago while he was still beta testing that game. He was very unimpressed by this raid, but that's fine. He's an impressive guy. It would take a lot to impress him. And yeah, I have seen Squabble, but have only played it a little. I don't think it's big enough. I mean, I think there's definitely an opportunity cost thing of like how big is this thing going to become, and does it make sense for Hasbro and or Mattel to look askance at these games that come up that are very similarly named to Scrabble? But I don't think it's there yet. I don't think Scrabble has any leg to stand. I think basically for me, I'm looking to come up with some variation of Wordle or spin or different game entirely that at least has the same shareability and ease of access to Wordle. And we're hoping to get some like puzzles up on this site that can sort of emulate the success of what Wordle has done. So there is some official effort in place to figure out what we can do to harness that success. But obviously Wordle's formula is pretty perfect, so it's going to be hard to innovate on that and make something that isn't worse. So, all right, I'm up by a fair amount. I just played Cadre. I drew the blank. I think I am leaning towards wanting to play something like this here. Unfortunately, my only letter that underlaps the E is the R here, so I cannot do this. I cannot do this, which would change things quite a bit. So yeah, oi, my brain hurts, says Transman. Yes, the Scrabble will do that. Scrabble will do that. No shame in feeling like your brain hurts. We were just talking about what a good brain workout Scrabble is, and that's how you know it's working, when your brain starts hurting. So, all right, Raya is going to be my play here. Okay, now I have this. I have Gooeyest. Doesn't seem like that's going to fit anywhere. Do I have... The real question here is, again, if as I said before, if I have a 7-letter word ending in a vowel, it's going to fit here. Do I have one with this? So I'm just going through the alphabet really quickly. Gooeyest, Stoogie, something like that. My gut tells me no, I don't have anything. So I'm going to very likely have to use up a letter or two and then reassess on the next turn is my guess. But yeah, I might have talked about this last week, but I continue to think about this and brood about this. So when Wordle was bought by the New York Times for $1 million, in the immediate aftermath of that purchase, the word list, I don't think the word list necessarily changed at all. I think the New York Times probably just continued to use the word list that the original creator had used, but a couple words came across everyone's Wordles that they didn't recognize, like agora or agora, or swill and caulk, Caulk, and there was an uproar, right? There's an uproar over those words. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, there are some serious, yeah, tacit with an I, tacit with an I. I remember tacit, it was tacit with an I because I remember guessing attic. I guessed attic and all the words were there, but in the wrong order. That's the first time that had ever happened. All right, I don't think I have a bingo here, so what I'm gonna do is play Goop here and try to draw something ending in a vowel. Okay, I have outgive now. So now at least I have something possible if it doesn't get blocked. Maybe something else. So yeah, it occurs to me like, all right, I'm watching Wordle with interest and seeing what's going on. It gets bought by the New York Times for $1 million. Words like caulk come onto the docket and people are going berserk, right? People are berserk. They're saying, are you kidding me? What are all these crazy words? And if caulk is the word that's motivating that response, I think to myself, oh my God, we really have an uphill climb here with our dictionary. We got a lot of words in the dictionary that are strange, unique, and if caulk is getting people upset, then a lot of the words we use are going to make them go berserk. So how do we get past that, right? I think there's just, to a certain extent, we just one way is that we can really lean into the idea of creating a Scrabble dictionary that consists only of really common words, the way Wordle has done. And that work has already happened. I'm not sure if WTF or Strategy are in the chat right now, but if they are, they have been working on that project. And Scopely also has internally that we have a list of very common words that we use for our very lowest level computer opponents. So caulk has to be in common words. That's what I'm saying, is that if even words that are in the common word list are triggering this immune response from people of hatred, then how do we get people to, like, let's look at this board, right? How do we get people to not go berserk over Raya or Stained or Rioja or Ag or well, a lot of these other ones seem okay, I guess. So like there's on pretty much any Scrabble board, there's going to be words like this. So having there be a common word list that people can play, that at the very least they can enjoy the sensation of finding a word from a jumbled up set of letters, but not have to endure what is to them the annoyance of seeing words they've never seen before and not wanting to learn any words like that. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way. I think it's totally normal that it's not going to feel great if you're a newer word game player to see a bazillion words you've never seen before. So that's one thought. Another thought is to just really lean into the fact that these dictionaries are in use by the best players in the world, right? So you can watch the best players in the world find incredible words you've never seen, and then some words that you do know. Like there are plenty of words on these boards you also do know, but to really lean into this idea of expertise, right? So you don't have to know every single word you're seeing. You just have to know that the players you're watching are really, really good at finding them. So that's another way that maybe you can alleviate some of those issues. Okay, so this would score 26 and leave a boatload of garbage. This would score 23 and leave my vowel. It's actually not such a good thing to leave my I with all these other I's in it. So maybe I actually want to use my I. Let's do this. Yeah, see, look at that. I just drew I. My instincts were good there. I played an I and I drew two more. So, so yeah, I'm trying to thread the needle there. That Scrabble has some of the same universality as Wordle, but the Wordle formula of making sure that all or most of the solutions are completely normal everyday words has to be some of its success, right? It has to be some part of its success. So just trying to figure out, and I think there's room for all different types of ways that we can attack it for sure. Doesn't have to be just one or the other. We can do events with one of our, serious Scrabble dictionaries with great players competing. We can do events with more casual feel that has a common word dictionary. There's all different things that we can do. And again, we have to build it all from scratch. So Jeremy says, I found another daily word game that has a bit of Wordle and a bit of Scrabble in it. Interesting. I'm curious. You'll have to tell me what that is. All right, here's a word that's not good yet, but it will be vibing. Right, we're vibing. Unfortunately, yeah, you can. I think links are still gonna get bopped, but if you say the what the game is, you can feel free to mention it, of course. All right, I'll play Hiving just to get off this rack, and now we're headed towards the end of the game. 20 letters. Interesting. I'm gonna check this out and see what this is. 20 letters. I'm curious. I'm getting lyrics to a song here. 20 letters, a daily word puzzle. Create a list of words using all 20 letters. Every word must be at least 3 letters long. The game uses the Scrabble dictionary. Oh, wow. This is super cool. Okay. I have this on my phone now, Jeremy. So I am going to be sure to look at this and see what we can learn about how well designed this game is. It looks fun. So you're supposed to find as long words as you possibly can. Oh man, so look at this. So if I'm able to find like there could be incredibly long words like monoclonal or something. Oops. Oh, I can mess around with it here. I should do this on stream if I was gonna do this, but nice. Okay, I see how it works. This is very cool. Thank you for this recommendation. I'm gonna look at this. All right, Tilt. Maybe a self-descriptive play. I'm not sure. I'm gonna just play Boink. MND. Oh, Boink doesn't. Wait, really? Boink? Am I insane? All right, get the timestamp. This is odd. I mean, this is like a bifida thing where I'm almost positive Boink. I'm feeling like I'm on crazy pills here, to quote Zoolander. Maybe let's try Bodkin. Okay, that might have been, Bodkin is probably a better play anyway, actually, oddly. And it is accepted, but Boink not being accepted doesn't make sense to me. Hold on, let's try this. Define Boink. Yeah, that's an NWL word, so that should have been good. So we'll have to make sure we make a note of that one. There's definitely some issues that need resolution. You tried to play Boink the other day and it wasn't in there? Yeah, it's we had a big discussion about this internally with the bifida play that I had on my last stream. So there's gonna need to be some review of the lexicon files that we've been given. Um, so anyway, I play Bodkin, which is probably better than Boink anyway, just because it gives me two spots to play out on my next turn. Here, here. Loom looks nice. And this is gonna do it for this. No, Boink should not be a bad word. I don't think. Um, so we'll play Nim here and finish this one off. It is a euphemism, but I think there's plenty of other words that were not treated in that fashion. GG to Transman. Sorry for the tough game. Thank you very much for playing. Yeah, a couple more minutes. I would take one more quick-ish game, maybe. Certainly, maybe I'll just play let's see if I can beat the computer in a 3 minutes game to finish the stream off. We'll finish the stream if I'm able to beat the computer in this time. And then afterwards, I will try to figure out what's going on with Boink. That's my day job, folks. All right, let's try here. Let's see what we can do. All right, I should be able to find something here. Surely. Oh, it's English US. I forgot to change it. That's fine. Gotta move quickly. So let's do anti-hero. Sure, good enough. Probably something better. All right, thank you very much, Transman, for the game. Enjoy the walk with your dog. Hopefully uneventful. As you know, I have 3 cats. I don't have to go walk them, but I do feel like if I don't go play with them on a pretty consistent basis, they start to understand, and they need stimulation. Let's do that. It's a little scary, but we'll go for it. Put a letter in a triple lane in this manner is a little bit crazy, but whatever. It's a blitz game. We're just gonna go as fast as we can. Grandmaster Computer is gonna play fast enough to keep up with me at this point. Oh wow, look at that. Didn't expect that. So now I actually could just play. I guess I'm still supposed to just play like Fez. Let's do it. Wonder if I had anything better there. So let's see. Don't think I should play more. Oh well, I hope you just mean for the day and not in general, because by measuring up against me, I've been playing this game for a bajillion years, and of course, it's going to be a different experience if you're playing other people. So hopefully on a different day you get back to it and have a better experience. I hope it wasn't too unpleasant. All right, do I have a play that goes down here with like W? I don't think so. I guess I could play this. That's not very good. Maybe I can play this. That's a little better. I don't love keeping O, but I did anyway. Now I can do something like I would love to use the. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh my God! Oh no! Oh no! This is terrible. What do I do? I can't just be afraid of the S. I have no good way of blocking it. I'll just do this. Okay. I drew an S. Is it gonna crush my dreams with the last S here of Anopsias, or am I gonna be able to play Vans or something for a lot? Oh no. Please, please, please. If it has the blank or the S, we will find out very quickly. It's coming momentarily. All right, it didn't. It didn't have those things. So we can play Vans. That seems fine. Oh, man. And I drew another S. So I drew both of them. Something like that. Looks like it's going to score quite well. Fealty or Featly. Ooh, I have to sneeze. Let's see if I can do... Was the bot changed to think? It has been changed. Pro streamer, once again, prevents audience from hearing nasty sneeze sound. Oh man, Deplume, look at that. It blocked my good spot. I don't have a place to play Festily. This is terrible. I could play Safety or Safely, I suppose. Oh, there's way more T's. There's 4 T's. Look at that. 4 T's, 1 L. Oh, and then I drew this. A word that I have played before against Extra Typo. And it wasn't correct, I don't think, when I played. Or did I miss this against that? I might have missed this against Extra Typo. Years ago. Years ago, 2017. Imagine how youthful we were then. Oh my God. Wow. Poggers. Freaking Pog. I just got hit with biosafety for 51. Oh my God. Safety with respect to the effects of biological research on humans and the environment. Who can't get behind that? Wow. Swaggy bot indeed. A critter is totally right. Hello, critter. Nice to see you. That's I can't even be mad. I mean, it's still really close. I could definitely lose this game. I am pushing the bot over time. Do I have a play through all these nice things? Boy, this is not going to be a good play. Whatever. Ugh. I need, like... Detrankant. To remove the tranks from. Oh man, this is like, okay, we're both overtime by a short. All right, it has terrible letters, so I should be fine. But let's not take it for granted. Maybe just tankard. That's pretty cool. That sets me up to go out, I think. Yeah. That's good. So tankard through multiple A's. So then I would play dent or net or ton, any of these, and we will defeat the bot. Despite its playing biosafety, which I have to admit, I did not see that one coming. Nicely played by the bot. Yeah, comp going overtime could, yeah, I think there are lots of tweaks that can happen for sure. Hi to Brent Jam, by the way. Nice to see you. All right, so we're at our 2-hour mark. I think that's going to do it. I think I'm going to run off and do physical exercise because I've been sitting butt in seat all day. I need to get some energy out. But let's see who's streaming something word related or any big streamers that are active right now. Let's just have a look. I'm open to suggestion. Let's see if any bigger streamers, let's see if we can get some visibility into, well, we could stream Eric. We could raid Eric again. We already did raid Eric. Not sure if a raid to somebody like Hikaru is going to make any ripple on his good raid stands. Let's see. Who else? Categories, chess, crossword. Who's streaming Wordle? We rated this guy last time, Kenny Haller, a Wordle. He's playing Wordle on Twitch right now, so we don't have to rate him again. All right, let me just see if anybody has any suggestions for. Hey, Joker, yeah, stream's about to end. We're about to send a raid out somewhere. Yeah, no. Oh, is he playing Squabble? No, he might be actually. Anyway, no one's streaming Babel Royale. Oh, there are actually people. Oh, never mind. I was about to say there are actually people streaming Scrabble right now, and I clicked on the category and it was me. So that shows you where my mind state is right now. Let's see. I guess we can just raid. Let's see what. We can always just raid Eric. Because at some point we're gonna get Eric to do something on this website, and it's gonna be great. Let's go ahead and do this and just see what Eric is up to. He's probably gonna be playing chess, but you never know. As long as you remind Eric that Scrabble is still out there waiting for him with open arms. Not to convert him forever, but just to just to keep him thinking about some Scrabble. Yeah, we got to put the pressure on Eric. No, I'm just kidding. Eric Rosen, international chess master, a truly delightful person, really, really entertaining streamer. Primarily chess, but is incredibly talented at word games, Scrabble, Babel Royale, anything he tries, really. Yeah, we'll just see what Eric is up to. And hopefully some of his viewers will be inspired to give us a follow and watch a little more Scrabble as well, in addition to chess. So anyway, that's going to do it for me. Next up will be Josh Sokol, Axer Typo, this Thursday, I believe. And next week, we have a pretty cool week planned. Frontier College Scrabble for Literacy finals on Thursday evening. I think it's going to start something like 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. You're going to see Colin Mockery, his wife Deborah McGrath, two really funny comedians, and then more stuff coming up after that. So good times on Scrabble Twitch. All right, let's go say hi to Eric. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.